Welcome back to another video, guys. Mike here, and today we're on some TC3. Pretty much, boys, on the last one I let you guys know to comment down below some update ideas that you guys want to see added to TC3, so I grabbed the most interesting ones and the most liked ones, and I'll be discussing it later in this video. But first I'll be talking about my ideas and what I want to see personally added to TC3. The gameplay you're also seeing in the background is a video I did with Conquerors, the community manager of TC3. He talked about the updates that he has planned that's going to be coming into TC3 soon, or there's probably going to be things that are subject to change, so stay tuned for that. I'll be pretty much posting it. Well, not stay tuned for that, I already uploaded it, but if you guys want to see the video, look in the description down below. That being said, 60 likes and I'll make another community update idea video, so be sure you guys drop that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do all that good stuff. That being said, let's get started. Alright, so personally what I want to see added to TC3 myself is pretty much naval buff and just more abilities for the ships. For example, like the aircraft carrier. My personal wish for that is to heal up troops in the Garrison mode, or whatever you want to call it. That's a pretty popular one, but there's also one that isn't actually talked about much at all, and I don't think no one actually brought this one up. But I think the aircraft carrier should be able to actually buff nearby ships and troops. If you leave the aircraft carrier by the shore of where the battle is happening, for example, it could support your tanks and soldiers from far, maybe, I don't know. Something like that would be awesome to add for TC3, because personally the aircraft carrier should be one of the most superior ships in the game slash unit, because in real life it's one of the most feared and the most superior unit or ship. I don't know why I keep calling it a unit. But anyways, that's something that I would want to see added, just a decrease in some prices too, because you need to make it so they actually have a reason to use the aircraft carrier, because literally 3 gunboats could sink an aircraft carrier, but at the same time you can't be running with an aircraft carrier by itself. You gotta have a battleship near it or something. You gotta have a convoy. But the reason is, why would you even get a convoy when you could just go air? So you have to make it so the aircraft carrier could help people in battle much more than some other troops, because literally, when do you ever see an aircraft carrier have a fleet in the game? Nowhere. You only see it from time to time, once in a while, because no one wants to use an aircraft carrier because it could get sunk so easily and it doesn't give you no battle advantage in a war and all that jazz. So that's just my opinion, and that's something I really want to see added. In regards to this game mode I was thinking of, there's this one, I don't know if you guys ever played a game where it's okay, so you got 2 armies, right? Got yours and the opponent's army, and there's an actual building that's unobtained by anyone, and it's gray, and if you hold that building you can start using the production buildings or whatever. I don't know, that just came to my mind, and I was thinking of that for TC3. If there's a game mode where it have different tank factories, barracks set up in the map, and if you claim it you could start using it. I don't know, you have to think of some more ideas around that, but that's the general idea. If you guys want to expand on that, comment that down below. I'm just throwing it out there, honestly, whatever's floating in my mind. But anyways, we're gonna be moving on to this actual comments and all that jazz. So yeah, like I said, to wrap it up, I want to see an aircraft carrier boost and the ability just so much. I want to see where you could use the aircraft carrier way more than what it is right now, because it's just so useless right now, and I don't see a big reason to use it. So hopefully they could do something around that. Alright, so moving on to the first comment, we got Mr. Cone, and he pretty much commented on a naval change that he wants to see added. He talked about some price changes, and he talked about the battleship having a decrease in price. Cool Conqueror did go over this, so there probably will be price changes, but I'm pretty sure those are exactly what Cool Conqueror said. But pretty much what I want to talk about is the Naval Platform idea that he had at the bottom. So he said, naval platformers must be researched and are similar to walls where you must place columns / pillars, then send a unique unit to build the platform itself. The platform can allow you to build most buildings on them and can be destroyed. These platforms can give you a tactical advantage, while air units could take out weaker bases. They will struggle if not fail against a naval base due to the likelihood of anti-air, since it is the only ways to attack it. The other is navy. Why make one? Perhaps to have a safe spot on your airport or space link, or maybe to assert dominance on the navy. It could also serve as a hard to reach base or control an oil rig. This probably won't fix navy, but I think that's a pretty cool idea. It would give navy some more purpose, in my opinion. So if you guys don't understand what he's saying, think of an oil rig, but of a platform, and you can set those up in the water. And pretty much what he's saying is, if you have a navy, you could actually guard that place with a whole navy. The only problem with that is, I would say people would abuse the hell out of submarines on that mission. But they have to think of something else. I don't know, but I do like the concept of that idea, but I think that would just bring so much more like dominance to submarines. And personally, yes, it does give more use to Navy, but like if you set up like a water base and like you surround it with like anti-airs and stuff, it's gonna be pretty hard to defend, because considering that most people would just go submarines with it. I don't see them actually using battleships to attack it. So that's why I would not recommend that. But if I like the idea, but I think it could be twisted into something else. But moving on to the next one now, we got Eduardo, and he said AC heals planes while Garrison add ability to detect subs. And with that, I'd like the planes to heal, obviously. An ability to detect subs, maybe. I'm not sure about that one though. He also said reduce the gunboat health. Honestly, I think they should. I think the gunboats are way too overpowered. You could take 2 gunboats and take out a whole battleship. That's not even fair when you micro it properly. And like 3 gunboats could take down 1 aircraft carrier. It's crazy. But hospital increased healing rate, maybe. I'm not sure about that one. Medical, I don't even see it. Why did I say medical? I meant medic, but I don't even see a medic being used as much, only in like Humvee convoys and stuff like that. But he also talked about heavy planes, light planes having a speed increase, maybe, but I would say they could have a damage increase. I would want a damage increase if it were to be planes. I don't think speed, because if it would be speed, I think people would ditch the space fighters. But then again, you only said by 2 units. Personally, I say more damage, so it actually could combat some space fighters. So it also said decrease nuclear plant cost to 120. I think it already got a decrease. I don't think they're gonna do it anymore. And put the stealth bomber invisible to light tanks and heavy tanks. Personally, I don't think so. They're already invisible to some soldier, or I think every soldier actually for that. But let me know in the comments section what you guys think about that one. So just a random person, some sort of anti-armor like a slash damage rocket launcher guy or something. So that, I'm thinking of like a flamethrower dude, but like then again, who the hell actually has flamethrowers in war? Actually, let me take that back. This one's pretty interesting, because I'm thinking here with fire or something. If there's like splash damage, I think they could spread if there's like a fire type of unit, but I'm not sure they're gonna ever add like a fire type of unit unless it's like the nuke. That's the only fire thing that there is in the game that spreads. But I have seen people recommend like rocket launchers, anti-tank people, but I'm not sure where that one's gonna go. So that's gonna be interesting if they want to actually add that or not. Mongo said, I think a bomber plane that actually flies by and drops bombs onto buildings and troops. Not like the stealth bomber, but like a dive bomber or something. Also, Mike, I have PTSD from you destroying me in Slice and Red the other night, so thanks. Well, you're welcome for that. I remember playing you in a free-for-all. Free-for-alls actually make you so much better, boys. You don't even understand. Like, if you want to get better, play some free-for-alls. You're going to get teamed up on, and it's going to make you so much better because you're going to know how to handle your army, your economy, all that jazz, and it's going to make you so much better. That's just a little tip there. But he said a bomber plane. And personally, like he said stealth bombers is not what he's talking about. But the stealth bomber is pretty much like a bomber plane. It drops like... That's what it doesn't look like a bomb, but that's pretty much what the stealth bomber is. Like, this thing will, it's in the name, stealth bomber. But I see what he's saying. I don't know if you guys remember, but I think in TC2 you were able to actually garrison tanks inside transport planes. I'm not sure if you were able to garrison explosive tanks, because if you were, that thing would be OP as hell. Like, I don't remember, but I do remember you were able to garrison tanks. I don't know if it was explosive tanks though, but imagine like transport planes with explosive tanks in them. You just drop it over command center, done. It's literally done. But I would rather not a bomber plane, but something else that would help in war. I think the airport needs another type of unit. Maybe like a bigger transport. Actually, no, not a transport. I'm trying to think here on the spot. When I'm reading these comments, I'm thinking on the spot here, but I think planes are fine right now. There's always heavies, light, helicopter. Maybe the helicopter could have a little buff or something, just so it's used a little more. I'm not sure, but we're gonna have to see where that one goes. Nuke mate, the aircraft carrier naval update, like the aircraft carrier can heal units and the gunboat gets a nerf, or the battleship prices go down, or you can add explosive boats to the same as explosive tanks just in the water, or add a new game mode to make the game feel like there's a lot more to do other than getting bored of the same thing over and over. You can also add super heavy tanks that cost $160 and more damage and health of heavy tank and health. Thanks for reading and have a good day. So thank you for the comment. Anyways, yeah, they're not gonna add the super heavy tank. I can tell you that right now. I do not see them adding the super heavy tank. Along with that, some explosive boats. Honestly, that would be so useless, and that would be really hard to counter. It's really easy to counter from if you're using like on land because you place buildings, troops in front of it. But for boats, dude, that would be crazy hard to counter, and I don't think they're ever gonna add that. Maybe if like naval gets used way more, but to add explosive tanks or explosive boats, I would discourage people even more not to use naval. So personally, I don't think that's a good idea. The aircraft carrier, yes, they should heal, and I think the gunboats do need a nerf. Alright, so we got more defensive base units, or more defensive base building and units. I personally agree with this one, but I think it should just be a buff towards like the fort, headquarters, and command center. I think the turret should be the same. I personally think it's really easy to run over a base with an army, even if they're defending it, because bases are just so easy to take over. Pretty much what you like. I feel like bases should be way harder than what it already is, so I could agree with that. I have seen comments about having an anti-artillery building. Personally, I don't agree with that because that would just give away the purpose of artillery. You're only supposed to use it once you have a dominant army, and that pretty much means if you have a building that counters it, there's no point of getting artillery. You might as well just use your army that's already dominating the whole game or whatever it is, the situation I should say. But that idea, I'm not sure I don't think that would ever come in the game unless artillery just someone gets a buff or something, and then there's a need to get like a counter thing for it. But for now, I think it's fine. Alright, so we got Cream Cheese, and he said, I feel like they should fix some bugs. They should fix some bug fixes as of like one of the maps you could fall through the ground, and they could fix some skins for some skins. They are very glitchy. They are very glitchy. Okay, that was something, I couldn't read that properly. I don't know why, but anyways, he's saying some skins actually do glitch out, and I could agree with that. Like for some like transporting ships or whatever, if you have a certain skin on, it's much harder to like garrison and ungarrison if it were to be another skin. So just small fixes like that, I think they could easily do. Got Hayden, and he said, you already know the vibes, more naval troops. That would be great though, but we don't know any naval troops to be adding into the game. I think if you want a naval troop, I think it should be something that has like a connection with the land troops. Like I was saying, how that aircraft carrier should help out the land troops if it's nearby. That would give it a reason. Things like that I think would give naval more of a reason to use. Or you could set up like some mini base or something, I don't know, but that's almost like the naval platform idea. But then people are just gonna use submarines and all that jazz. But it's really hard to think of these ideas. You gotta think like 2 steps ahead of yourself when you're thinking of it. Like if you want a certain troop to be added, think of the cons and think of the pros of it. Be thinking of like what would it actually bring to the game. Would it help this unit be used more? Would it make these other units not be used anymore? Like, you need to think of things like that. Matthew said maybe they can add an anti-infantry tank and a Minesweeper tank. I'm not a big fan of the anti-infantry tank. I think tanks are perfectly fine. I think maybe a Minesweeper tank would be cool. Like, it could scout out some mines, because I think mines are getting used way more, and that's great to see mines being used. But honestly, it could change the outcome of a battle easily. But if there's something that could scout out, like almost like a scout but for like a tank, if you get me, like maybe it'll like self-suicide into like 5 mines maximum or something like that, or either lets you know where the mines are if it's nearby it. So that's going to be interesting if that ever gets into the game. But that's pretty much it with this one, boys. I didn't choose too much, but I'm not sure if you guys wanted to see it or not. But if you do, drop a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, comment down below your thoughts, and think of some update ideas if you want. If we could hit 60 likes, I'll create another one. So with that being said, Discord links in the description. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.